Hello, children. Welcome to another edition of our Sunday Bible series. My name is Auntie Chizoba, and I'm super delighted to be here. Last week, we read the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 20, where Jesus was saying, "Listen, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I'll come into him or her and have dinner with him or her, and he or her with me." Now, that's what Jesus Christ is saying. And then we looked at him wanting to come into our hearts and dine with us. And one of the things we discussed is that God is super interested to hear about every single detail of our lives. He wants to know what is going on with us, even though he can't see it, but he wants to hear us say it to him. Today we're going to look at language. You can't actually converse with somebody if you do not understand the person's language, right? Yes, exactly. And you see, there is a language to use to communicate with God. And you may be wondering, what do I mean by language? Yes. Now, to be able to speak God's own language, number one, you must allow Jesus Christ to come into your heart. Number two, you must begin to desire to have fellowship with him. And how do you fellowship with him? You fellowship with him by reading the Bible. When you read the Bible, you're able to understand how God thinks. You're able to understand who God is. And you're able to understand also why you should have fellowship with him. You see, you do not just fellowship with someone who isn't your friend, right? You don't sit down to discuss with that person for long. But when somebody is your friend, especially when that person is your best friend, you would want to always relate with the person and discuss with the person. And that is what happens when we read the Bible. Now, when you read the Bible, what happens is that you're able to understand how God speaks. Yes. You see, we can always assume a lot of things about God. But you see, those assumptions, we would not really know whether it's right or wrong, except when we read our Bibles and understand from the Bible what God thinks and how God feels concerning certain issues of our lives. Now, in developing that relationship with God this week, let's make up our mind to speak God's language. And we can only speak his language when we study his word. So make sure you study his word, not just today or tomorrow, but every single day. And in that way, you'll be able to understand how God thinks, how God feels, and most especially what God thinks about you. Till next week. Bye-bye.